I'm Cal.
And I'm Stam. And this is the K.A.S.T, Cal and Stam Talks.
And I'm the voice of reason.
What can I say, lads? We've had a tough few weeks, some challenges, but we're here and we're back. And we have got a lovely show for you. Our guest today is none other than Levi, my brother. Please introduce yourself. Let them know who you are.
I'm Levi.
Yeah.
Levi Delvin Till. Born and raised in Hackney, Clapton. I'm a HGV driver. I'm an entrepreneur.
Come on.
I'm a founder and trustee at the Levi Foundation charity.
Okay.
I'm a husband. I'm a father.
Yeah.
Got loads of titles, Loads
That's
of titles.
it. That's it.
A lot to share with us today.
That's good. But first things first, want to say thanks for coming down. Obviously, appreciate it.
Made
We
a
all
long
do
journey.
from the K.A.S.T. You know what? Obviously, you're here, and we want to know who is Levi.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned loads of titles. So start from the beginning of who you are, and then we'll get to certain points in your life, and then where you are today.
You know what? That's a tough question, you know?
Yeah.
Who is Levi? I'm still trying to find out who is Levi.
Yeah.
So actually a really good question. Levi, why? Who is Levi? Well, I grew up in Hackney.
Yeah.
I went to Stoke Newton School.
Stoke.
From Stokey days.
Big up all the Stokey
Big up
crew.
the whole of Stokey
I've
school.
got cousins in Stokey and I've got a couple man I know. Shout out the Stokey crew.
It's too much to say everybody's name, but everybody that was there in the era, 99 to 04, I think, when I left.
So use with the rude boys.
With all the manners, you know what I mean?
Yeah, use with the rude boys.
But it's got its pros and cons, you know what I mean? Who am I? Who am I? You know what? I'm a good-hearted guy. You know what I mean? I'm a people person. Wouldn't say a people pleaser. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm a kind, loving, I'm a generous geezer. You know what I mean? And wear my heart on my sleeve. And that's kind of just who I am internally. You know what I mean? Everything else outside of the actions towards, charity, what I've done and stuff like that. I'm, still trying to figure out who I am. Because I believe I've always followed in my brother's footsteps.
Okay.
And after my brother passed,
Yeah.
it was like, who is Levi now? That's why the question's mad, because it's like following somebody's footprints all your life. Yeah. And then when they disappear, it's like, I don't know if to go left to right. It's like when we used to get a trim, like, you go first. What did you got? You got you got a level 1 on the top and a 0.5 on the sides. Or when it comes to getting ear pierced, because back in the day when you got ear pierced, what side was the right side? He knew that stuff. I didn't have that information.
Left side.
So wait, would you say your brother was your role model?
Yes.
Yeah. You looked up to your brother's older than you.
Yeah.
So he was your role model. So
He's
it
my
makes
role
a lot
model.
of sense. Now it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So everything I've always followed in his footsteps, and obviously I've always been my own. But he always used to say to me, "Yo, be your own man," because I used to if I come out in the same top as him, he's like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Be your own boy, be your own man." Not in a horrible way, but like, bro, don't just follow and copy. But you know what I mean? So
he was the voice.
He's the voice, and he was the voice of reason.
Yeah?
Literally.
Okay. Was it just used to growing up then? Yeah.
Yeah,
Literally.
it was us two, because my sisters are young. Sisters are just turned 20s and that. So you got to think I'm 37 and be 38.
I was going to even ask you. So you're 37.
Yeah.
That's good for people to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 37 years young.
37. I'm August. So I'm a Leo. I'm a summer baby. You know what I mean? So again, that's where I don't know if everyone believes in that, but wear my heart on my sleeve. Leos are quite fiery, but they give you their all, but still,
100%. Okay. So it was you and your brother.
Yeah.
And obviously, sadly, you said you lost your brother.
Yeah.
And he was your role model. So at the time when you lost your brother, you're now got to do things for yourself. How did that make you feel? Like, what was the impact? Like, if you could describe it in words or feelings?
Why that going through the loss of him, because he passed of a brain aneurysm out of nowhere randomly. So there was no warning or no nothing. After losing him, and obviously him as a role model, I didn't know whether to go left, to go right. Alongside dealing with the grief of him being gone, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was just, it come out of nowhere. So, I kind of, at first, I turned to the bottle. I was on the drink, you know what I mean? Because I can't even comprehend this yet. I think he was about, don't quote me on the numbers, because from then till 2013 when he passed, it's kind of a bit of a blur.
So it happened in 2013?
Yeah, 25th of September.
What exactly happened, if you don't?
So I was heading home one day. I was out. And my brother's missus at the time, Lauren, she kept calling me like, yo, he's not picking up the phone. He's not picking up the phone. And I was like, yeah, he's probably, as man then we're like, he's probably cool, man. He's probably left his phone indoors and his key indoors. You know what I mean? But then as it got later, I'm trying not to panic, but in my head as men, I'm still now thinking, hold on a minute. It's a bit...
You got to be the man in the
You still
situation.
gotta
You
be-
can't start panicking in front of her because you're a man.
So I've got to try to show like, yo, keep calm.
Yeah. Because you're not calm yourself.
I'm not calm myself, but I'm playing it cool.
Exactly.
So then this has got later on in the day. So I'm heading home now. And I think I've called one of the boys in the ends and I'm like, yo, I beg you fly by my yard and just... But obviously everyone's busy. So, there's no disrespect to the man that didn't make it there.
Yeah.
But he's probably thinking, yo, the same thing, innit? So anyway, I've got a call from my dad. And like my dad, I couldn't even understand what he's saying. Just, you know what I mean? He come home quick. And I'm like, yo, what's wrong? He's like, just Josh, that's all I got. I started running, especially after her being worried. And now I've got this phone call. I'm like, hold on. I think I've got near Stokey police station from Rectory. That's what old Bill come out. I've literally opened his door. I'm like, yo, please take me home. It's not like the movies when you start running, you're running for time. I got steel toe boots on. I was out of breath. You know what I mean? They got me home anyway.
They took you on.
Yeah, it's round the
police
corner.
for that, though.
Shout out to the police for that. You know what I mean? They come through.
Facts.
And I've pulled up outside my house, my dad's, and there's a couple ambulances. So I'm thinking, oh
Jesus
my God.
Christ.
I'm thinking, what's going on? You got stabbed or something. So I grew up in Shakespeare. So anything it could have been anything. I've gone up anyway. I've come in, they're doing all that CPR business. They got the things on him.
Sticker things.
Clear tree. And like, I'm like, yo, what's going on? You get me? And then the guy said to me, yo, my man's heart stopped. And I'm like, bro, that for me was like, they couldn't have got any worse than that.
Yeah, that's crushing.
That's crushing. Your heart stopped. I know, I'm no doctor, but yo, that's serious. So I kind of fell to my knees a bit in the doorway. I kind of punched the doorway a bit. My dad's like, no. But then as a Leo in me, and I think I'm a very, maybe not just a Leo, me as a person, with my heart on my sleeve, I'm a very caring person. So I'm like, yo, I felt him now. In between while they're doing compression, CPR, and defibrillator. So I've kind of, he felt a little bit warm still, but cold, but not too cold.
Like
you
clammy
know?
or something.
But I'm going to relate this to movies. In the movies, like, the man's cold or he's gone. I'm like, he could still. So I wrapped him in little blankets because he's naked. He was in the bath. My stepmom's come home and he's passed out in the bath. Then she's called him and he's tried to, this is why the trauma's mad. But anyway, so I've tried to wrap him up to keep him warm a bit, try to get a bit of blood flow. That's all I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Anything.
And they keep doing it for time in between, get off of him because they have to do the defibrillator. You can't touch the man while the shots are going.
Electric.
So, so that was tough. And then, I see them doing it and they kind of looked at each other, the two ambulance man. And they looked at the watch, man. And I could tell, I knew what that was. But they carried on for time, So shout outs to the ambulance crew because you never see these people again. Once things happen.
Next job.
Yeah, and I think that day I went downstairs. I think I kept looking out the window after that and there's like, it's because I grew up in the manor, for people that don't really understand that, but it's a small area. So everybody's quite close knit. So when news like this happens, everybody's outside. And tell me how everybody ends up with a bottle of drink. You know what I mean? It's just a normal thing for the man them to come with a juice as it's like a coping mechanism.
Like a numbing thing, innit? A numbing thing.
Almost, would you say it's almost like a ritual?
Yeah. Like
in our demographics, where we're from, our communities. It's like a ritual.
You know what I mean? That's what we do. It's an unwritten thing. Come with a bottle. We're here. That's our support though. It's not like we're just here having a drink up. It's like, we're outside. We're all here to show that we're here. And I kept looking out.
Kind of talk to the bottle instead of talking to each other.
But I think when you have a juice with the man them, you do kind of probably open up a bit with unconsciously without even realising. You have deep convos. So when you're just out kicking it, you don't really realise all the levels and the depth of the conversations you have. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot, That is a lot. So.
Yeah, that was... So again, who am I? Finding my own way to keep us on track.
And that happened when in 2013?
25th of September.
So how old was you then, roughly?
I was about 21, 22.
Okay.
I'm 37 now.
That's
and he was like 23, 24. Don't quote me on the exact. That's a young age to be there, especially someone that close.
Yeah, because that was your role model. And then it's like, by default, you've no longer got a role model no more. It's like, nah, it's like,
What do I
in
do?
that situation, if it was someone else, you might be like to him, oh, look, help me with this, help me. He'll take the role, but it's like,
now
no
it's
one to
left
take
on,
the
now
role.
it's me. So it's like, yo, find your own way. And, you know, again, like I said, you know, it's trying to be strong there for my mum, my sister, my dad. All of that becomes the pressure now of, again, not showing us that you're, again, like I'm really, I'm not upset, but I don't want to cry in front of everybody because I know my mum will just burst into tears. So I'm trying to keep some strength together and hold it together, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, with that happening, people say like death changes you. I've not been through no close grief, but what's the main way that affected you? Obviously there's grief, but the man sitting here, Levi, today, in what way are you different?
Yeah.
So if that never happened, if that makes sense.
You know what?
What's the main thing it done?
It definitely made me stronger.
Yeah.
Even though it had to tear you down first.
Yeah.
It made me more resilient, I'd say. You know what? It's mad because it has a lot of, it's sad to say it has, because it sounds weird. It has pros and cons, but it's not pros and cons because somebody has lost, because I'd rather have that person back, and anything that it's made me to this day or not made me, you can have that all back and I'll have my man back. But you know what? It definitely helps like mold, reshape you, the way you look at life, you know what I mean? The way I am with people, you know what I mean? Not just getting into arguments with your family or friends and realizing that, you know what? There's a lot more depth to life, and you know what? Life is very short and precious. So each moment spent with somebody, even if they annoy you, trust me, when they're gone, like you're gonna miss those annoying traits.
To annoy you, innit?
Like my brother used to tell me why. I'll put this on the phone. He used to like wiggle his toes. Yeah, it's like so annoying. You know, a man's like that, just like wiggling their feet. Why does that annoy me when he used to do that? You're just my brother. Blood grew up bathing together and could walk around the room naked in the same room. Like, yo, I don't even have to say no. You're my brother. We're big men. You get me? Like we was close. You get me?
There's no one,
like twins, maybe.
Yeah.
So that type of connection, you will never find.
You'll never find that
again.
again. And I'm always searching for it. And unfortunately, you know, I got some really good friends, but
they'll never be him.
It's not Josh because I grew with you from a baby, innit? That's the difference. And I love the man, them and my guys, like, yo, you're my brothers. But that little bit that I can't rewrite, those memories of growing up. We used to go to my uncles in Spain and running around in the mountains, or do you know what I mean? It just those little things there. So, but where it's made me, I think it's made me a stronger person. Yeah. And I really value life. And you know what? At one point when he passed, I didn't care about life and I didn't care if I was here or not.
Okay.
And then,
I want you to take us into that, please.
Yeah,
so
you know
define
what?
not caring or not, like, what,
you know what?
What did that look like?
It just looked like, you know, taking your own life takes a lot of strength, innit? I'll get to that subject in a minute, but yo, the strength you have to do that is crazy.
Anyone
you know,
that does
and
that
courage,
is brave, bro.
It's brave, and the courage that they have to do that. You know, if we had something where, that's why I'm glad this podcast is here to help put out, you know, the message to others that there's other ways of dealing with the grief. But if we had to use that, and then in a different way, yo, we'd be doing what we're doing today.
We could channel it and take that
same energy and that courageousness to do that and put it into something. Yeah, we're gonna flourish and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Kind of forgot the question.
No, you saying you didn't.
I didn't care about.
You didn't care about life, and I said, like, what does that look like? What exactly?
It looked like I just buried my head in the bottle. You know what I mean? Seriously. Smoking weed, drinking. Drinking was like the numbest. Like that was the best thing, but the worst thing. But to just numb the pain. Yeah. I think I was having a brief conversation with you guys before. It's like you can't just go to sleep at night time when you've gone through something like that. Like, it's time to go and lay my head down to bed. Your brain's doing a million miles an hour. You're going through stress.
All the what ifs,
and the moment. So the drink is just like a knockout. A tranquilizer.
Yeah. Oh, it temporarily makes you forget.
Quiets your mind, basically.
Yeah, quiets everything.
And
when it's time
louder.
When it's time to sleep, you just pass out. But like you said, it comes back.
Yeah.
To come down with that.
Yeah. It comes back with vengeance.
Hangover with it. So taking my
circle,
my own life sort of thing was just become self-destruct mode for me.
Yeah.
Like no more caring about myself. You know what I mean? You know what? I've barely just even getting in the shower and that. Like, you're like, bro, little things like you're not even showering. bury my head in the drink. Then
Probably really depressed.
Yeah.
To be fair, going through depression and a lot of stuff.
no routine eating,
Changed.
sleeping, work.
Your
We
diet's
don't
just
care.
messed up. You probably weren't even eating properly, so
Nah.
your body ain't even getting the fuel that it's supposed to
Yeah,
get, or you ain't,
yeah.
you're dehydrated.
And you think you look all right still, but you don't realize to the people around you that know you, like, yo,
can
you're
see
just
you're
deteriorating mad.
100.
And at first you think nobody's noticing it.
Yeah.
Because at first it was like, cool, like I'm drinking, but that was norm.
Yeah.
But then I started doing the gear.
Yeah.
And like, I never used to do gear, like, you know, I never used to do any of that. Like, I grew up in the manor, you could sell a bit of this and sell a bit of that. You know what?
Yeah.
That's just part of growing up in our era, in our era as well. So it was like, you know what? Then I started having a little bit, and that was perking me up. I was like, right, I kind of feel,
Giving you a bit of balance.
feel all right. Yeah.
It's making you feel yourself again.
Yeah, feeling like myself, and felt like I had a spring in my step again. But then again, when that wore off, I felt terrible. The come down was long, started destroying my relationships, you know what I mean? Then started not falling out with my parents, but you know, you're not the same you, innit?
Yeah.
But everybody's noticing.
In regards to obviously taking the gear, because a lot of viewers won't know the effects or what it does, but how did that affect your life and the people around you? That because now you can look back at it and be like, you can see from a different point of view.
Yeah.
So that, how did it affect you and how did it affect other people? Just so we know.
Yeah, I think at first, like I said, it's like this wonder drug that's making you like, you got spring in your step. You're like, what's happening, everybody? And you look like, he's all right today. They think he's getting better, but they don't know he's had a few lines. You know what I mean? And that's so it's a false sense of security. Dopamine, But then again, so I've started to feel a bit better, but then as it wears off, again, you're groggy. You're a bit ratty. You know what I mean? It's like if you had a drink and then you're on a bit of a hangover, you're slow, you're lethargic, like people talk, you're snappy.
You're on edge.
Yeah.
You're irritable.
Very irritable. Perfect words to describe it. So I think then it started affecting those around me, because at first they didn't know I was doing it. And then now they're starting to clock on, like, hold on a minute, I'm cutting on to this. There's something else here.
There's patterns.
There's patterns to this, because he's up, then he's down, and we know he's lost his bro, but it's a little bit more severe than, you know.
In regards to even, so after everything happened, losing your brother, did you speak to anyone? Did you, like, you mentioned before about not wanting to talk therapy and stuff like that.
No, I didn't speak to anyone. I had the boys around me, you know what I mean? Shout out to the boys in the manor, Prior, Big Turk, and everybody, Adrian, you know what I mean? There's always
your guys.
Big
them up, man.
So a lot of the manor was there supporting me, man. Seriously, like, you know what? If it weren't for them, I don't know where I'd be, to be fair. They held me together.
Yeah.
Like, and especially man like Prior would like make sure he come to check on me. You know, man, show up at your house. Certain times you think, my good friend Aaron 10.
Yeah.
You want him to, like, you don't want no one to come, but you know
Aaron
the
10.
door's knocking. And you're like, just want to be on my
That's
own.
why it's
But
important
he's like,
to have friends,
bro,
supportive friends in certain situations.
Network.
Because like you said, you don't know
Support
where you
system.
would have been. So
there's
God bless him.
always checking up, and then it just come to a point where, like, you know what, like, we'd always just be together, you know what I mean? But again, like I said, it was a different time. It was a different 2013 to now. In that timeline, things have changed drastically. People with families, even work, just life has changed on the whole. The cost of everything. So I think you had more time in 2013. Not to change the subject, but I was watching a music video. It's called Rap Archives on Insta, and it was like old music videos from like 06, 08, 2010. I was like, yo, the manner was different then. Like, time was different then.
It's a different era.
It was a clothing.
Living in a different era, different time,
Very different era. So I think at that time,
So what was the turning point, man? Because obviously the cast is about like people sharing their stories, but the main thing, we want to give people strength and hope. So what was the turning point? Like, can you just point out some pointers? Was it a certain thing?
You know what? The turning point, I believe, to this day for anybody is you have to be sick of it. You have to, in yourself, because you can tell a man, yo, you need to change these habits, or but in yourself, you know, when you come to a point like, I'm sick of my relationship's gone down the pan. I don't want it to be like, I'm not talking to my parents properly. I feel like shit. Like, I'm a mess. Like, and inside, I don't feel good. Like, I can't continue like this. Like, I need to. And that's sometimes it's just a light bulb moment. And you're like, how can I change this? You know what I mean?
What was it for you?
I think it was too much of the drink and the gear. And again, like I said, the relationship would start deteriorated massively. You know what I mean? And I think I'd done so much of it. Like I said, I wanted to not be here anymore. And then I was driving. And my body just went a bit limp. Like, I was like, I had this voice in my head like, you're going to die. Like, because my whole body, I think, too much gear, too much drink, just over.
Was you high at the time when your body went limp?
Yeah, I wasn't mad high because I'm driving, but I had obviously done some gear in that.
Okay.
So, I think, but compounded over time, it's all just caught up now. My body was just like, warm. I've literally in traffic, I've literally pulled to the side. You know, when I could barely put in gear in that. And I'll give myself 5 minutes, I was all right. And then I said, that feeling of me not wanting to be here anymore, when I finally felt that, I said, no, it scared me. I was like, no, I don't want to die. I don't. So I was like, later, I need to change. So that was my turning point. And then again, there's a difference between knowing the turning point and then turning at the turning point.
What were practical things that you did, or what was the change? Like, what was the change
for me?
Like, did you start going to the gym? What did you do?
I was quite lucky in a way. I used to work for a company here in the UK, Showforce, doing lighting and stuff like that. And they had a hub in the Middle East. But this is a year later of me drinking, or a couple years after drinking and doing all my things. So there was a long period of
Oh, so you was doing. So how long would you say you was drinking and
on the gear and the drink?
Would you call it like a downward spiral?
Yeah.
So how long was you on the downward spiral for?
At least about 30, about 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, but it's a long time of 2 years straight.
I suppose just drinking alcohol, obviously, and even taking gear. That's a lot to your body to take. So
100%.
You'd say 2 years, and then you had the moment when
I had that.
The fright.
So I sent this email to the work, like, listen, I know you got a hub out there. Like, you know, my brother passed. Like, I need a change of environment. I need a change of scenery. Like, I need to get away from this. And even though that's all the way in the Middle East, the way I look at it is you need to step back from the manor or certain people that you're around at the time.
Bad influence.
Yeah, or sometimes not even a bad influence because we're
take
drinking
yourself out
partners.
of everything.
Take yourself, because if you're not strong enough to be around everyone and not drink or smoke, don't go around them until you're strong enough to be around them and them having a drink, and you can say, nah, I'm cool. Because that peer pressure is real. So I went off, they managed to get me to the Middle East. Lucky enough, he was like, yo, someone's leaving. You can take that spot. So I was going back and forth to Dubai. This is a time before everybody was in Dubai like now. You know what I mean? I pride myself. I was like one of the first man. There's probably people there. The godfather. There was people there with their M's because I never had M's. You get what I mean? Don't get me wrong. But as the younger generation, like, you know, I was going to Abu Dhabi, Yas Marina. I remember working out there to do the Formula One and that. But my point is, so I managed to get out there to drink-free and drug-free country. That's all I was thinking in my head. That's drink-free, drug-free. That could help me clean me up.
Hats off to you, you know, to even think out the box and think, you know,
in the time,
I respect you for that. So when you looked at your situation and thought, how am I going to change this?
Yeah, how am I going to change that?
Pulled out the box, because no one would think, you know what? Well, that don't go on there. That don't go on there. It's strict there, so I can go there. So even hats off
and then,
to you.
Again, like you said, of, you know, thinking outside the box in a time where your mind is very in the box and closed off. Like I had to think like, yo, what is, so again, this could go to anybody's circumstances. You got somebody that lives abroad or somebody that lives, your nan lives in country. If you need to go up there, 100%. Take a time out. So it's the same
You're
method.
Not limited to one thing.
You just basically just took a break from the environment. To break the cycle.
So I had Middle East. So even if, like I say, if it's your nan lives in Clapton on Sea, you'll go up to Clapton for a week or 2 weeks. Take anything.
Anything different out of your situation.
Yeah.
So each time you was going to the Middle East, how long would you be out there per time?
I could be out there for about a month to a few weeks at a time. But when I first went there, it was like about 4 weeks. Then I come back for a couple of weeks. Then I go back out because the jobs would sort of start and stop. Different projects were going on. So that was a positive thing. Then I'd come back, you know, and this is what's sad. Even to this day, you guys will probably vouch for this, and anybody listening, you know, when you get away for a while, you could have gone to Vietnam for a month, or you've gone away for 2 weeks, or you've gone out of town. You know, when you come back, especially to the manor, I'm going to use this as the manor, to the ends. Yo, nothing ain't changing though. Man, them are doing the same thing. And you're like, I've just seen a part of the world and my mind's opened up, and you're not missing nothing here. And the man them will tell you, bro, if you got the opportunity, go. Go, flourish. Don't stay here because, you know what I mean? And if they're your real friends, they'll say, bro, take them opportunities.
100%. That's why it's good to travel and go see different places and try different things.
Literally,
because the world's our oyster. We
Yeah.
can go wherever we want.
Yeah.
We don't have to be subject
Yeah.
to the ends.
To the ends, yeah. And,
Yeah.
you know, you could be a big fish in a small pond, or you could be a small fish in a whole wide.
Yeah.
You know, don't quote me on the way I said that, but
It makes perfect sense. All right, so with all that being said, that's the positive side to it. But were there any down moments? Was there any setbacks in that process, or kind of in that transitional period going between here and the Middle East?
Yeah,
getting your mind right. What was?
Of course,
what
there's
was an
no
obstacle?
straight line in this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was many times when you relapse, as they would call it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be me going back deep onto it. But you have a few lines, you have a few drinks,
Yeah.
and then you realize that, you know what, because to this day, it still might come in my head, like, you know, I could do a little live, you know,
Yeah.
go out and touch out and have a little juice.
Yeah.
But then, you know what, that's just normal though. We wouldn't be human otherwise. And then obviously when I would do it, when I'm trying to get away from it, I'd be like, I didn't like how I felt after.
Yeah.
So you've had this
Okay, so
craving, and it's like craving a McDonald's, and you eat, you're like, yeah, that's
And
dead.
you
I
feel
don't
shit.
know why I
Hate
ate that.
You go
Yeah.
to a restaurant and the food's not how you expect it to be.
So I
Basically
felt
bring you back
bad.
to square one.
It brought me
you
back.
pick up exactly where you left off.
And then now I'm start counting my days from zero again.
Okay.
So it's like you stopped smoking, but you smoked after 6 months. Now you're back on day one.
you're
So
kicking
day
yourself
one,
now.
you're like,
Let yourself down.
Yeah. And then that again, you know, it comes with all of that self-sabotage, you know what I mean? And not feeling good. And then all of the you know, the badness that comes with that personal feeling of doing something like that, you know, self-destruct mode again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't care again. And like,
Okay. So I would say, you know what? This is so interesting, yeah? And already it's a testament of like strength, discipline.
Yeah.
Look, and you're here to tell
I'm
the
here to
tale,
tell
bro.
the tale. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
honest,
you've
bro.
been super honest.
Super
Yeah, but
honest,
again, like
bro,
you
and
said,
it's
it's
gonna-
what the podcast's about. The cast is about. It's like
Come on.
letting people know you're gonna go through this stuff in life. I think I heard Mike Tyson say it. Like it's like, you know, life, we want it to always be beautiful and you know, great things going. But when life is life, we're gonna have ups and downs. And I believe that's what makes us the person we are today.
And
if you don't have the ups with the downs, how do you appreciate such goodness if you haven't had times of turmoil and even working your ass off, and then you get on holiday? It's like you enjoy the. I believe, not to change the subject, my wife said this to me the other day. If we lived abroad constantly, would we just get bored of it, and would that just be normal? And I was like, nah. I said no, because obviously in my heart I don't want that to be true. But it might be. The beach is there every day. Does that just become?
Might
Like, we
take
don't
it
see
for
the
granted.
locals at the beach every day when we're on holiday.
Do you know what I mean? But again, you won't appreciate the light. So,
it's true.
and it doesn't make me who I am or you who you are. And unfortunately, we're going to have loss. We're going to have all these things that come in, you know, disappointments, upsets, but there's ways of channeling that and using that as a, you know, that energy and focusing that towards positive and change. You know what I mean? We have to change, and change is uncomfortable.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
That's where you grow.
That's where you grow.
So even with you, it's good to have you on here, because there might be people going through any certain part in your life that you've explained up until now, and they can see that you've gone through it, and
and you've come out on the other side. That's where the charity come in.
Yeah. So
Okay.
but you said you're strong and you're honest.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the SAS.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the viewers who don't know, Levi was on SAS, Who Dares Wins.
Yeah.
And when I first became aware of you, like Cal said, look, this guy, he's like someone I know, knows him. I looked at your Insta, thought, raw. SAS, you swam
the channel.
Swam the
I didn't
English
get all
channel.
the way to the end, but you know what?
No,
we'll get
bro,
to that
this is
anyway.
like-
Swimming the
this is a
channel.
podcast
I ain't
for
never been in the
champions, for
channel.
winners.
Yeah. I ain't put my foot in the channel.
Listen, it's cold. It's cold.
So, so the SAS, Who Dares Wins, what made you want to do that? What in your mind thought, you know what, I'm going to do that? Like, what? Because that's not something where someone just sitting down and think, I could do that.
Yeah, how did that all come about?
you know what?
Yeah.
I was going to say, people do think, I could do that.
But you could think it, but to go and apply
do
and
it,
put yourself on it is
yeah.
totally different.
You know what? Again, this perfect comes back to who is Levi. And that day I was like, that's Levi. That is for me.
On what day though? What happened? What did you see it
I was
on?
sitting there watching it. It come to the end of the thing. I was just flicking and it come to the end. And it's like, do you think what you got is what it takes? Apply online at Channel 4, right? And I'm like, yo, cool, my wife's in the bath. But I'm quickly trying to apply before she gets out the bath. I don't want her to say, yo, what stupidness you did? I don't really, I'd rather just do it. And then
just humble yourself and put your phone back in your
You know what I
pocket.
mean? And but it's asking me long questions. And I'm like, shit. But I'm thinking, yo, I'm putting a lot about myself and being honest and open. You know what I mean? So that was a bit about me, because I've always wanted to be in the military, SAS, paras. That was, in my head, I wanted to get to the SAS. You know what I mean? For real life. You know what I mean? I've always seen myself as like, yo, military man, get in there, very regimented.
Have you always been athletic and have you always been in the gym and stuff?
From after secondary school. Secondary school, I probably wasn't so much.
Yeah.
But I'm like one of those guys, I watch something on TV, I can do that. He done a backflip, I can do that. I probably can't even do a backflip, but I
The
can
man
do
them
that.
are all like that.
It's not even the army thing, because I applied for the army as well, but I didn't get in because I had asthma. Literally.
They didn't take me for these.
No, 100%.
We ain't asking what he does for his
Not the army.
Definitely the army. So I managed, so they've got me on there. It's taken about 6 to 8 months. They send you an email, congratulations, we've seen your thing. But then you're thinking,
Was that after 8 months you got
no,
emailed?
this after a few months they get back to you, because they think how many people apply. 15, 16, 20,000 people apply, bro. There's 20 people left that go onto the show. So really to make the cut from 15 to 20k, yeah, man. So, but that's what these times I was benching like
Levi.
65 kg on each side.
Okay,
Like Levi was Levi.
Like
Levi was, you get me?
And what
When
was
I go
that?
gym, I'm gonna start saying that. Like, I'm Levi.
Levi. You get
What was
me?
that in build up? Was that a lead up? Was you benching 65?
Yeah, before the SAS thing.
No, but was you doing that specifically for SAS?
No, I was
that's
just
where
doing
you was
that.
at.
At that point in my life, I was gymming constantly for about a year and a bit, like every day. Like I was Monday to Friday, I was in the gym. If I didn't go gym, come a bit like when I weren't doing the gear, I feel like I need it. But that was my new vice. Like,
that
gym,
was
train.
your positive, healthy coping mechanism in that situation.
You know what? My mum would say, "Yo, we don't put them labels out there. There's too much labels." No, but to be honest, we do, innit? We all do have that very. I don't know what the ADHD bit is, but I'm very structured in certain things, or very much so. Or I've always got to have water in the kettle boiled for some reason. Like I'll boil the kettle, I'll make a tea, and I'm like, the tea. You know, on the side it shows it's half.
Oh,
so I've got to fill it up, and I don't know why. And I'm like, yo,
like that. OCD,
but I'm like, yo, the spirits then while I make a tea.
All the labels.
Probably. But growing up,
Not the designer ones.
no, exactly. But growing up when we was young, it's just what was it? He was what did they say? Not excited. What was it? Hyperactive. He's just hyperactive. You know, in our generation, he's hyperactive. He's hyperactive.
It used to be that
word,
was
didn't
the
label then.
Hyperactive. Yeah, you're right.
So then the SAS. Long story short, done all the things now. Then they sent me an email to come down and do like a training thing. I think it seemed a minor. You had to do like 50 push-ups in less than a minute or something. Don't quote me, but then you had to do like 50 sit-ups less than a minute. You had to do the bleep test, which was probably the hardest.
Oh, bleep you got to get to the wall and back before the bleep.
Back. But the thing is, you could do that test there, and also sort of some filmed interviews. You know what I mean? Talking about yourself and why you want to be on the show. So once you had done that, if you'd failed the bleep test and that, you wouldn't get put forward. But if you had passed that, you still had the chance to get in. So that was the hardest bit for me, that bleep test. I was strong. Muscle man ain't always fit. It's just wham. So
you made it,
I've made it on there. They're not telling us where we're going. 2-2s there, said, meet at the airport. Got to the airport. I'm trying to gather where am I going this whole time.
Wait. What did you say to your missus? Remember, you've done it on the slide.
Yeah.
Because you can't just say, I'm going to the airport.
No, so so after I've got the first email, but I don't like to put it out there yet. I'm very much, even like with this podcast, I don't put it out there until let me get there. Anything can happen, or it didn't make the day. So I don't want to put it out there. My brother showed me that. Listen, you got a new job? He's like, but have you started yet? I'm like, nah. So he's like, you ain't got the job yet. Until you're in there and you get your paycheck, just take it in your head that anything can happen. So I didn't want to put it out there and be all joyful, and then it got let down. So when I think the second email saying like, come for the training day thing, that's when I'm like, yo, babe, look, I got the SAS thing. She's like, right, when did you do that?
When you was in the shower.
Yeah, he was in the shower. I've been Levi the whole time. So no wonder you ramped it up a bit.
Yeah.
So then, Yeah, so what was you saying? So yeah, I've done that. I've told her. So she's happy. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
my man's going on the SAS. My man's SAS. You get me?
Big look.
And then, so then this is a little while after, done the filmed interview, said, congratulations, you've made it on the show. I was gassed. You know, when you're waiting for an email, I was like, what? SAS, who there's wins.
Yeah.
I was like, sick. And plus I always wanted to be in the military. And shout out to the instructors, boy.
It's like a dream come true,
Yeah,
basically.
those guys there, serious guys, Rudy Reyes, Billy Billingham, Jason
Did they really
Fox,
see while you're on there? Did they really
and
like?
Chris.
See how I've watched the celebrity one and all that. Then they take people in a room and they really like press your buttons.
Yeah,
Did they do that with you?
With mine, I was
Did they
talking
break
about
you?
my brother and that because I was already, there's a moment when I kind of broke. So the girl was having a seizure and that.
Yeah.
So when I'd gone in there, it kind of brought me to tears, a lot of memories and flashbacks.
Oh,
So they're like, let's get him in to have a word, see how he's doing. They're like, mate, you're doing good. He's like, this is, what's this? What did he say? He said like, this is Operation Rebuild now. You know what I mean? So keep doing the track you're on. So yeah, that was really positive. So
Big them up, man.
but yeah, I got to the show. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of it was mental, but that bit there, because remember you haven't had no phone. It was only there for like 10 days, but no phone, no nothing, all day, every day. It's relentless.
Yeah.
Like the celebrity one, to be fair, bro, it's light work. Like I've seen it, I've watched it. You know what? I'll have to put that out there for you. That one there.
They can't.
Celebs
they
ain't got
can't
shit
leave
on
out
that.
like
Nah,
you.
and they're getting paid. We didn't get paid.
Yeah.
I didn't get zero, not a penny. That was all about yourself and putting your all out there and giving it 100%. And this was all about Operation Rebuild, all about your trauma. You're dashing that away and saying, I'm strong. I got this.
like that.
The celebrities, when you're getting 30, 40 grand, after a day, I'm ready to go home. There's no incentive for us. Like, so this is all on
really
you.
gotta just
Did
keep
you
pushing.
want this? Like, and that's what they used to say. Do you want to be here? If not, you can, it's off home. Is that there would be like, there's a freedom. Do you want the freedom plane to Bali? So we're all looking at what? There's a plane ticket to Bali. No, that was just them saying, you want to go Bali? Go to Bali. So that again.
You're allowed to swear on it, by the way.
Oh, you're gonna have to swear. They're like, fucking get the
Some minor
fucking.
things and fuck off.
They're like, get the fucking freedom plane to Bali. Go on then, piss off.
Wow.
And you're like, but them when they're sticking it on you there, it's like it's giving you a boost. They're like, come on, fucking give me fucking 10 more.
Yeah.
And you're like,
but
if they say,
is
come
that
on, give me
pushing you?
10
Is that
more,
having a
you
gym
ain't gonna give
partner?
him 10
No,
more.
but is that you? Do you think that gives everyone a boost, or that's just the
I
way?
don't know, maybe
just-
it's me. Because they
Yeah, see,
asked
that
me
just
before
shows
we
your
went there,
spirit.
how would you be if they was shouting and that? Like at you, how would you? Because they need to know that you're not just gonna go ballistic. Like I was like, mate, I was like, but I said, for one, you ain't met my dad. Like my dad used to shout. I said, but them shouting, I said, that'll push me. I'm happy for that. Shout at me, yeah.
So
that's military.
Yeah. I think that was you, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly, I
that
think that
was-
was your character and your.
Yeah,
strength.
that was all me on that show, and that was all 100% Levi. That was all the trauma I'd gone through. That was me leaving it there on the field. You know what I mean?
Serious. What do you genuinely believe?
I believe,
you left something there, yeah?
I left something there, man,
got the
massively.
SAS,
you know,
who
them
dares wins
guys,
team,
and I
man.
believe they took
Pick
to
them
me,
up.
you know. I believe they took to me, and I could be wrong, and I'm just, because I overthink things, but bro, they like, man. Like, they're like, I think my character and how I was as a person there, and I was there giving it 100, and like, you know what? I had a lot of respect for them.
Yeah.
Like me looking at them guys at positions of where I would have dreamt to have been in life. Yo, I can only salute these man and be like, hold on,
but-
let me learn from you.
Look at it like this, yeah. So you've gone through whatever you've gone through. You've had a downward spiral, and then you tried to build yourself back up. There's nothing but respect that everyone's going to give you, because you could feel sorry for yourself and be like, no, it's everyone else's fault while I'm in this situation. But you've actually gone on there, applied, and so who's not going to respect you in that situation?
Yeah.
And
give
you've
it
been
your
nothing but honest.
Yeah, and you've made
it
it
your
there.
all.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody that was there, all my 20 team members that was there, for us to be there in that same place, like, yo, hats off to all of us, because like we all had, everybody there had gone through something. Whether it's the same or different,
Did
we've all
everyone
gone
know
through.
your story there though?
No, because it takes time to get to know each other. So we've only just met at the airport, and they didn't really want us to talk to each other too much on the plane, because they want it to be natural. When we get on the show, everything is organic. If it's been like, yo, you already know my man, but you're acting like you don't, they want it to be organic. It's a show, innit? They want it to be like, yo, you've gelled together. So like Love Island or something. You don't know each other. Otherwise, you've already got groups and clicky before you've got in.
And it's just not, it's not natural.
Yeah.
Did you stay in touch with anyone?
Yeah, I'm
Are you
still in touch with a lot of them. I mean, as obviously people have kids, marriage, life, work. So we're still, we know each other. If I reach out to you like, yo, we're on each other's socials, you know what I mean?
awesome, man.
We're a message away.
Yeah,
we're a message away. If I message any of them, they would respond, and that goes down to the DSs as well. They're very good like that. They respond.
Yeah.
You know, those guys that took the show, even the production, respond. You know
all
what I
of
mean?
them,
That's
man.
sick, man.
Big
Big
up
up
all of
them.
them.
And they gave me, when I come back from the show, they're the ones that done my counselling sessions while I started
Right,
the
yeah,
charity.
let's get
So,
into
yeah.
that. Let's get
Yeah.
into that. So,
Yeah.
sorry, was you going to say something, Carl?
Yeah, just getting into the counselling.
Yeah.
So when you did finish the show, because I remember you saying about you don't want to talk to anyone. Remember,
Yeah.
after everything happened, what was your view then on counselling? Because that's a new thing. I'm
Yeah.
guessing you've never done.
I've never done
counselling
it,
before.
yeah.
So when they mentioned counselling to you, what was your first thoughts?
I was
as
open
Levi?
to it because when I came back from the show, I went on a downward spiral, like
Oh,
bad.
did you?
I think you know, when you see on these shows, you're like, how did that person take their life just coming off Love Island? I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I get it. It's mad.
it.
It's
Yeah.
mad because they was living at their height.
Yeah.
You're on this show, you're doing
Oh, and
everything
then
you've
you come
imagined,
back
then you
to
come back to reality and you're like, oh boy.
So there's no routine.
Not saying like there's not the routine, but you was just doing everything you've always dreamt of doing.
Yeah.
And now you come back to just your normal life. And there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with our normal life, going to work every day,
Yeah.
eating the normal
But it's
food.
a far.
It's very far
it's
from
far
where you
apart.
just was in
You was
Vietnam.
at your,
climbing
you was
up
at
a
your peak,
mountain.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, you want that to carry on forever. It's like coming back from holiday back to reality.
Do you
You're
think,
like,
you think
I
that's
have
why
to work.
sometimes like you see soldiers, like a lot of soldiers end up either
Bad
turn into
PTSD
crime
or to
PTSD
crime
or end
or-
up homeless.
Yeah.
Do you feel that
Oh, 'cause
maybe
they're just used to being in
yeah,
battle
all
and-
the adrenaline and then it's
Yeah.
like
And then
nah,
you come back to reality, you're back in, for the soldiers, you're back in Civvy Street.
Yeah.
Like you're not armying.
Yeah.
So, like, you're
Kinda
used
like-
to being on patrols, you're living a very different life. So when I come back, I have a bit of a turn. And I think talking about all my trauma and being with other people that talked about their trauma, I didn't really put it out so much. That was like a counselling thing out there, just with the group. You know what I mean? And bro, I was driving one day and I had a stressful day and I was putting it in the group chat to everybody, shout out to everybody on that show, because they was all messaging the Channel 4 production, like, yo, you need to message Levi, you need to contact him, he's on a bit of a downward thing. And I got a phone call from their psychologist, geezer, Howie, really nice guy. You know, like they're people that, they're post-production people that support you and look after you, make sure your
Kind of
well-being's
like
good.
like welfare.
Yeah,
Kinda
your welfare, like a post and pre-production,
safeguarding
thing.
kinda.
They've got that in place.
Okay.
And Channel 4 was like that. So they've called me. He's like, mate, I've got a lot of calls today saying call you. I felt like just driving to Dartford, just jumping off that bridge. So I just was feeling so
That's
loud.
a big bridge as well.
Yeah,
Not even
I
to
was
try to be
thinking,
funny, bro.
yeah,
That's
it's a big bridge. That's what I was
a tall
thinking.
bridge, you know. See, when I drive over that, I'm sure.
Bruv. And you know what? And then I think by the end of that day, I think I was on my car driving home or whatever.
Yeah.
I just drove the car, bruv. I think about 90. You know, you've got the central reservation. The reservation, the site starts and then it stops. It's like a little square. I was like, I went to do it. I was like, nah, you get me? I kept driving. I was like, nah. And I went, bang. Smashed into it. I flipped the car like 8 times. So whoever was locked down in traffic on the M1 that day, I'm sorry, but I was going through some shit. And I just ripped off the whole car. Ripped myself off. Like, weirdly enough, I had one scratch. The car was finished. Like, really, I should have been dead. Like, if you saw the
there's a
motor,
reason why you're here today. But
yeah,
So you actually took an attempt on your life.
that's the first time ever, and that was after the show.
yeah, so it just shows.
You're a tough geezer.
Yeah.
You survived the SAS. You survived a suicide attempt.
Yeah, brothers,
Like, you
lost the
survived a lot,
drugs, the
bro.
drink.
Yeah,
you
the
know what I
reason
mean.
why
Survived the
you're
drugs
here.
and drink.
There is, and that's part of that reason being here today.
So with all that being said, and the whole journey and every single low point, what is your biggest strength? What is your biggest vulnerability that you've discovered about yourself?
Well,
And what's your biggest strength?
my biggest strength through vulnerability?
Yeah.
I'm probably saying it would have to just be when my brother passed. Although I was very vulnerable, and then obviously my low points, like, you know, crashing the car, and then everything in between, the drink and the drive. I'd say it all has to play as my vulnerability that made me vulnerable.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because my guard's down, I'm not thinking the way I usually think. I'm not the normal me. So anybody has access to me in ways where it could be not necessarily money, but you know what I mean? I'm very vulnerable. I'm open. You know what I mean? I'm weak. You could lead me into somewhere and I'm gonna follow. You know what I mean? You can take me take me off track. So luckily I had good people around me, because you could have led me into
Darkness.
let's go and rob this place here, or let's go and
could end up
kill someone. I
anywhere
could end up
doing
in some
anything.
serious trouble myself or hurting somebody else. So I think my biggest strength, you know what I mean, has come from finding myself. And finding me, finding who Levi is. You know what I mean? I think that's where the strength has come through fighting that battle of being vulnerable and, you know, trying to find my way out of that through the darkness. That's what I say. It's like being in a long dark tunnel, but there's going to be a light somewhere, and you're searching continuously. So even though I was in a bad state, I still knew I didn't really want to be here, but this is just for now. And I think we say that a lot when we're on drugs. I think this ain't forever. It's just for now. Just get me through today. I'm going to stop this next week. So
before you know it,
I think the biggest strength, I would say, again, SAS, man. That built me. That SAS built me. For everything that I've gone through the Middle East and everything, but SAS,
So, you know, after obviously the attempt and you flipped the car, then how again did you then get yourself back on your feet?
Yeah, so the Channel 4 post-production, they paid for me to have a counselling sessions with the geezer, with Dan, and I think they're quite expensive, 150 quid an hour, so it was all private. And I had about 6 sessions with him, and I was like, when I went to the first one and come out, I was like, well, is that what counselling was like? I was like, well, I just dumped all my shit on him without burdening my family. I walked out of there feeling light. I was like, yo, I called my wife, my girl at the time.
You know how many people said this? You said it, I've said it.
Oh, man. I was like, that was a weight off of my back. I was like, he just took so much weights off of me, you know, like the weighted vest. He took all of them out. Just got the vest on.
Just
what you saying? You just quick.
You know about the weight vest.
The weight, that's when Levi in. You get me?
Quick one, even with counselling, because remember you was against it before. Do you feel that when your brother passed, condolences to your brother as well?
Yeah.
Do you feel that if you would have had counselling, do you feel that what would that?
I think with counselling, you need to be ready for it.
Yeah.
I say the way I'm going to describe this is it's a bit like, you know, when you see them doing hypnotism. If you're like, bro, you can't hypnotize me, whatever. You're not going to take to it. You have to be perceptive to it.
Actually, you might have went in and not been open.
You would
have been like,
and I'm not. So it's all falls on you with counselling. How much are you going to be open? How much are you going to be honest? How much are you going to share? Because they can't drill it out of you. They're only there to put. It's just like this. This is counselling. You put questions to you and you answer them how you want to answer them. You answer them very basically. And this geezer, like I think with counselling as well, it's the person you go to visit. You might not feel comfortable with that, but so change. Find someone else. They wouldn't feel any type of way because they know it. Counselling, for it to work, it needs to be you feel comfortable with that person, fluid. And after I had a few sessions, and it was like, yo, I started getting back into work again, like, you know what I mean, driving again, the trucks and that. I was like, yo, cool. You know what? I feel good. And I thought, you know what? That's when the charity come about, the idea.
Tell us about the charity now.
So because they covered the cost of the sessions and they made it so easy for me, all I had to do was show up. You know what I mean? They dealt with everything behind the scenes. So it's like, if I started a charity to support people with their mental health and well-being, to prevent suicide and addiction specifically, obviously obvious stuff that you've gone through in life, you know, traumatic things. Well, we cover the costs, we raise money, cover the costs, same blueprint as they had. Sort out all behind the scenes, somewhere local to you. So it's like gym. If you're going to go gym, don't go to a gym that's 2 hours away, bro. It needs to be around the corner for you to go every day. Otherwise, it's not reasonable. That's a good idea. So I started writing out a plan. So the charity didn't come about. I didn't just go to someone and say, I want a charity to do with mental health. And they processed it for me. Like, bro, I've got books at home like that thick. Like, I'm on holiday. I'm here. And all my spare time, I'm writing out the structure. Same like your podcast. You have to have a bit of structure to it. How do you want it to pan out? How are we going to help people? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? It's a whole business plan, basically. Then you send it off to the charity commission. You can do it for free, but I've done it through Russell Cook, or I believe they were called something like that. It's quite expensive.
Was it like a third party that helps you incorporate it?
Because what it is, they want to read it in that legal jargon. So the way I've written it all out, they have to kind of restructure it. But I've given them everything. So it's made it a lot easier and a lot less timely. So, you know, they've sent back the document saying like, yo, it's taken about 8 months, 9 months, takes a long time. Sent back a document saying, we just want to know more about one part of the charity, which was the wellness retreat. So I just had to give them a bit more information about how I would structure the wellness retreats and how they make sense for the charity. And then they sent it back saying, cool, you're a incorporated charity. So not just on company's house, the company can own property, it can own, vehicle. It can do a lot more with an incorporated charity. So when that got through, I was like, cool, how do we do now? It's fundraising. All right, Levi's Levi in. As they say. So like the training. Quote of the
Levi,
show,
yeah.
Levi in.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. I think the first thing I done was a swim. Obviously, we'll get to the channel. So I think I done for British Heart Foundation.
Yeah.
But this is before mine got really set up, my charity. So let me do something for another charity. British Heart Foundation, done a swim, Bournemouth, peer-to-peer.
Yeah.
That was about a 2 mile swim. But bro, for a man never
2
swam in
miles,
the ocean like that.
2 miles.
It's from one
Even
pier
a
to the
2 mile
other.
run is long. Like,
Yeah.
that's
How long
even
did
that's
that take?
difficult. So
What's that?
How long did that take then?
That wasn't long. That was probably about 45 minutes, an
45
hour.
minutes swimming.
45.
Yeah.
I ain't even in the hot
In the
tub for
sea,
45
yeah.
minutes.
But the sea's different because you're thinking about, what's underneath the
Yeah,
thing.
like sharks and that. That's what
Sharks.
I'm thinking.
Well, are there sharks in there though?
There's probably sharks in there, but this is English. Not if it was Australia, I'd be a bit more worried. But
Sharks are sharks.
yeah,
man.
sharks and
You
sharks.
saying the British sharks ain't
But I
really
think-
about it?
I don't think they're a bit too cold in there, innit? They're like later, I try to keep warm. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I done that.
Navy
I think I raised about 500 quid for that. So I was like, that was
That's
cool.
amazing.
But that was a start. And then I think I've done Lake Windermere, it's the Lake District.
Yeah.
And that
Okay.
is about 13 miles along. And I believe I was about 3 miles short. I swam for about 5.5 hours in the
What,
lake.
non-stop?
Non-stop. You know what I mean? And they got a boat next to you. And I was just in my jammers, like the tight swim shorts, so
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
not flapping around. Bro, I come out of there looking blue.
Serious?
Yeah. But again, these swims and stuff, they're expensive. But that was for my charity.
Yeah.
And I,
Hats
you know,
off to you know?
So every time I worked and I was getting money now, I'm putting it back. This is
Yeah.
for the people. Like
Yeah.
this stuff didn't come for free.
Yeah.
Like, them swims are costly, man. They're a few grand a time.
Oh, what, for you to like, enter the swim?
Yeah, because I've got to pay for the man with his boat. He's
Oh,
got
okay.
to go next to me, his fuel,
Is it? I
his
thought it was
time.
free and that. I thought
I've got
to
to
be
pay
fair.
to stay in the Lake District for the few days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you think of the cost.
So you're just doing it for your charity?
For the charity.
Was there other people there? Like,
No, that was just me.
Oh, okay,
I
but-
had a couple friends that come with to support me and my
Yeah,
sister
yeah.
and that. Big up my little sister,
wow,
but
man swam for 5
Yeah.
hours for 10 miles.
But then I knew I was going to do the channel swim after that one.
Okay.
So that was like a introduction.
build up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Though? Commend you for doing like all of this stuff is from the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing
Yeah.
it for a good cause.
Yeah, 100%.
Not-
It wasn't. There
not
was
for the
no
gram.
personal gain.
Not the
It wasn't
gram
for the
or
gram
TikTok
or
or nothing like that.
or to just get views.
yeah.
Like, yo, this was all heart and soul out of my pocket. Listen, I took away from my household to
Yeah,
try
to
to.
do
I
that,
really want to support others and
That's
help others.
commendable, man.
You know what I mean? And genuinely, because I went through it and I was like, yo, I was on the edge.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want no one to be, but people are. And I believe if you don't have people around you, because sometimes people don't, bro.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I've heard people saying, I'm not going to say no names of the celeb, or like, counselling, now why am I going to go to a counsellor for? And I agree with a lot of things these people say, but some things you don't have to agree with everything someone says. But, why would I go to a counsellor? Why would I do this? You know what I mean?
Not
And I'm
everyone's
like,
got
bro,
someone.
you've got a support network.
Yeah.
You've got people around you. There's
people
some man that go home after work and they're on their own, or women, or
Yeah.
elderly, or whatever.
people
So,
on their own, yeah.
if they don't have that, we're here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's a very different story. So, yeah, like I said, then I got to the channel swim. And the channel swim, I was trying to have a kid before, and then they're saying, I got through this, you can't have kids. And as a man, there's another vulnerability.
So start again.
What did they say? Yeah.
Start again
Oh,
for that.
so-
So
Yeah, yeah.
you actually went through the doctors telling you
Yeah,
can't have
doctors,
kids.
you can't have kids.
Serious?
So I had to go and do a semen analysis. A bit weird. You go in the room and you have to in the cup and
Yeah.
all that. It's very
How
strange.
old was you when you was told you can't have kids?
It's about 2 years ago. So I was 35, 36.
When they told you that, how did that make you feel?
that was crushing.
Yeah.
That there could send you back to having a drink and getting on the gear again.
100%.
And this is the thing
Especially-
with bad news in life. Sometimes our direct thing is focus, go back to that. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, comfort. I'm not doing that. Like, yo, there's got to be a way around this. Lucky my wife's so supportive.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
so-
Support me in everything, the swims, and through that. She was like, cool. And she was like, well, we'll go and get a thing. She's very organized. Well, we'll contact the thing. I don't, as men, who am I contacting?
Yeah.
She got this home analysis kit at first, and it come back like you do it, and then it said 0 sperm count. And I'm thinking, as a man, even now, I'm not 0. That's a man's worst nightmare. We used to joke about it. You're shooting blanks. So that was a bit crushing. And I was like, all right, cool. She's like, no, don't let it get you down. It's cool. And she's very supportive. Like, don't worry, man. I'm like, yeah, but it don't make me a man if I can't have kids. You know what I mean? But now I could put myself in a progressive mind state of being like, oh, poor me. Like we said, all of the, you know what I mean? So
it's true.
I done the semen analysis at the hospital, got a second opinion. They're like, nah, endocrine team you have to contact. And then all of that stuff takes months and months
So what,
and
you had
months.
to go to a specialist or
Yeah,
something?
so that
And
took
what, they
about
helped you
8,
sort it
9
out?
months. Yeah, so then By the 9 months, we just said, you know, I said, babe, listen, we just said, listen, we'll just live. We've got a daughter, she's 14. My stepdaughter, it's my daughter. I don't really care. That's my daughter,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, 100% Imani, you know what I mean? And so I said, boy, we got one, 14. You know what I mean? I'm cool. I can live with that. You know what I mean? I'm more than happy. We'll just go on holidays and just live our life. She's more or less 40. She's out of that baby mode.
Yeah.
We just have a good time. And then all of a sudden, I think I done Brighton Marathon.
Yeah.
She come up with me. She's walking around drinking wine, as she do. And then we got back a few days later. She's like, I need to talk to you. I was like, I'm thinking, what's up now?
You're in trouble.
She's like, she whipped something out in the kitchen. She shut the door. I'm thinking, right, I'm on the corner. I'm more
Were you waiting
anxious
for her to attack you?
I couldn't breathe. I can breathe more here. About to go on a podcast. So she's like, what's this? And I was thinking, what is that? I don't know. It was the pregnancy test. She's like, look, what's this? Look. And I was like, what's that? She's like, it says I'm pregnant. I was like, what?
Wow.
Bro, I felt like a teenager having to say, bro, I've got a girl pregnant. Like, I have to tell my mum and dad she's pregnant.
Bro.
I'm
That's
like,
amazing.
I'm like, what? You're joking. I'm like, seriously? She's like, I was feeling her friend. She was with her friend. Said she was feeling a bit funny. And if she's like, take a test. She's like, they told me you can't have kids.
That's a miracle.
So we was like, hold on a minute. These doctors, you said we can't do rare tests, but again, it's a miracle. You know what I mean? It's a so. So then in that time of this having to prepare for the swim, I find out she's pregnant. So my time's gone from training as much to kind of
be to the appointments.
to be there with her to support her being pregnant. You know what I mean? I want to be there. I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy that's there for the kid, that's there for her.
Yeah.
For all the steps of the way, not just you know what I mean?
Definitely. Before, was there anything you was doing specifically that like some people say you can do this to
to make it better.
Yeah, like was there
The
anything,
fitness show.
for the people that may obviously be in that situation?
Yeah. I think that the fitness side of it didn't help. I think my testosterone level was really low. And as men, you don't realize like that testosterone level is key. When you're young, like you think you just sleep with someone, you have a kid. But as you get older, bro, it's tough.
Yeah.
And I still know people that try and for time. But I think the fitness side of it, my testosterone level was low. I think it come back. And there was a few different things because they do a whole analysis of proper blood tests as well, like every little thing, iron, this, that, and things I didn't even understand. So I think that was a major factor. So I think and stress probably. I was working, like I said, I worked 60 plus hours a week.
Yeah.
So I dropped to 4 days a week. I wasn't doing as much hours at work, sitting down all day on my ass driving a lorry.
Yeah.
So I think I just made subtle changes. I think I was taking, my mum got me these little tablets, like not just from Holland and Barrett. She knows like a herbalist lady that makes them all.
Makes it,
This little, I couldn't say that was the case that worked or not, but I did make little adjustments in it.
Yeah.
And and I think also the part of not thinking about it.
Yeah.
I think when you're
Not
trying
letting
for a
it stress
kid,
you.
that pressure, I think it does something to the body and doesn't allow it to happen. And as soon as we said forget it, we just go on holidays.
I've heard of cases that
Yeah, it
people just say
happens.
they forget about it and then it happens.
It happens.
I've had a few cases.
Yeah. Because it started to become a bit routine now. Like, oh, we've got a choice that time of the month on this day. And you're like, bro, this is dead.
Gotta do it now.
Yeah. So
God.
then I had the little one. But until we had got to a certain point with that, we didn't really want to believe it was there. Like I was scared that any time it would get taken away from me. And I think that through the loss of my brother and all the stuff I'd gone through, I felt like, I don't want to put my heart in it.
Going back to that same point where you say until it's there.
Till it's there. I was afraid. So we was doing more appointments than needed, private scans, just to make sure he's all right.
Yeah.
Because like,
As
yo,
you would, innit?
Yeah, because it's a very delicate thing, innit, when you're having kids. Yeah, anything can happen.
Yeah.
So we didn't tell anyone for a while.
Yeah.
So then, that was, again, I think that's probably one of my biggest strengths. As the voice of reason said, you know what I mean? As one of my biggest strengths had come from having a son. I believe that changed my life. You know what I mean? Massively.
Gave you meaning.
Oh, meaning, man. And I never understood until you have kids. It's very difficult to, I've got little cousins, little sisters and that, but having your own one there, and you look at him, you're like, man, you come from me. That's the only thing in this life that is forever. The SAS comes and goes. The Dubai comes and goes. The money that comes and goes. But him. Yeah. Like that achievement, he's here for life. You see, when I've achieved a lot of these things that I've done, I'll be honest, like it kind of disappears. And I'm like, yo, what's the next thing? You're chasing, you become chasing
They
new
become
things.
memories.
Whereas he's
I get you, man. That's actually sick. That's actually a miracle.
and then
man.
so that's from there that going into the channel swim, I'm still going to do it because obviously I've put out there now to everyone I'm doing it, and I've raised a good, shout out to the people again. We raised about £7,000. Yeah, and you know what? Everybody really dug in for that one and really support every way they can. So it was really, and like I said, it's not always monetary support. It's bloody a message, yo, you got this, or it's just like, you know what I mean? That giving me your energy. Like I said, it's not always money, bro. That pat on the back, you got this, showing up,
Even a nice message, or
nice message, and just believing in me, posting my stuff, like that goes a long way.
So it's like you couldn't let people down.
No, I couldn't let people down because then my wife was like, "Why don't you replan it for next year?" I was like, "Nah, man, I can't. This is something, especially with the charity, and I want to be above board with our charity. Yeah, we say we're doing something, we're doing it because otherwise we become it's here and there, and we're not credible. I don't want our credibility to go out the window. So, but it did take away having a son from my training because I swam in July, just gone June, near the end of June. 2025, and he was born in January, obviously 4th, 2025. So January, February, May, June, July.
So
that 6-7 months was tough for me to be out swimming in the sea and the lakes, and be a dad and work. Because remember the charity thing and the swims. This is all.
You're funding it.
I'm funding it all, so I'm still got life around it.
You got to fund this charity thing, and you got to go work.
Yeah, and I've got to go work
as well.
and find the time to train to swim in a channel, which is actually life threatening. Like the channel swim ain't just swim the channel; like you can die. You have to sign mad waivers when you do the channel swim, and that's when it got real.
Is it because of how cold it is?
How cold it is, the current, the tide, it can suck you under, it can suck you away. Like you could have a heart attack.
Is there not lifeboats out there while you're doing it?
There's one boat next to me. Which I had Ellis Marine, shout out Ellis Marine Services. They was with me. But that's it. So, and in the sea, we started at 1:15 in the morning. I started pitch black.
Serious?
Yeah. So
that was swimming in the dark. Sorry.
That was this hard. So I wanted to do mine July times, August times, because I was thinking that's when it gets light early. So worst case, I got the phone call saying, you got to come. You get a phone call 24 hours before saying you've got to swim. Because it's the tidal window. The tide changes, doesn't it? So you get a time you got to go for have the best chance of making it across. And he said, be there at 1 a.m. And I was thinking, I've tried everything to get out of this 1 a.m. swim. But you know what? That bravery that comes in with that, and the flies in your butterflies in your belly, and you got to go. It was it was more or less like describing it. When I had to get off the boat, it was like, you press the bell on the bus, you go downstairs, you get off the bus and go. So he was like, right, time to go. Got down, got in the water. I started swimming you have to swim to the land, which is, you're probably about 100 meters from the land, because you have to start from shore. Then he blows the horn. I was thinking even that horn was scary at 1 o'clock in the morning.
So what? They drop you in the sea, you swim to the land, and then you come back?
And then I come back to the boat, and then we keep
swimming.
swimming.
To warm you up or something?
No, because you have to start from land to be an official channel swim. So you started from Dover, you finish in Cap de Gris or wherever you make it to. So, and again...
Question. What parallels do you see between the swim and emotional endurance?
Boy, what parallels do I see between the swim and emotional endurance? I think they're very similar, because the swim, you have a lot of time in your head. It's like running. So it's one of those sports where you're just in your own brain and you've got time to think. Nothing else going on except, one arm in front of the other. And what are you thinking about? And the emotional endurance, again, is a lot of time in your head, trying to figure things out, you know what I mean? Overcoming stuff.
Basically sitting with it.
Sitting with
the pain of the swim.
Okay. And like, again, the stresses and the pains of life, sit with it and reason with it and find your way out of it. Same like I found a way out of all that stress and to the Middle East and to here and to the SAS. And, I think with the swim, you get a lot of time to think because you're swimming and like you try to zone out the best you can, but really your brain's telling you, get the hell out of here. I don't like this.
Fight or flight.
That's all it's saying. Get out of it. Everything is scary. Same like life. Everything is scary. You're worried. How can I get out of this? Well, how can I do better? But I don't want to give up with the swim. You don't want to give up with life.
It's like a bad situation and you're looking for a way out of it.
You're looking for a way out. But again, that comes back to like the SAS. Like you're there by choice. So, sit with this because you wanted to be here. And like, you know what? Again, like I said, it wasn't just for the people. That was a bit about Levi, and again, who is Levi? Channel swim. That was, again, it was giving me part of Levi that I needed to find and overcoming and courageousness. You know what I mean? That courage it took to start swimming that channel is the same courage it took to come off of the drink and the drugs and to sort my life out. Basically, it's the exact same
Hand in hand.
parallels, hand in hand. You know. So when I started that swim, I yeah, boy, I just put my head in and then I just got as far as I could. I didn't get as far as I'd like to.
How far did you swim?
I probably
Do you
swam
know?
for about 4 hours, if that.
4 hours?
Probably a little bit
What,
less.
non-stop?
Yeah,
Even 4 minutes in the channel is.
I'd say it was probably around that. I don't really count the time on that one. I was a bit disappointed, but bro, the sea was another game, and I believe if I trained, I could have made it if I had a wetsuit on.
Yeah.
Because the cold was getting to me, and it wasn't. I was never with my swims when I've stopped. It's never because of tiredness and fatigue. It's just the cold water.
Start getting
you know,
cold.
it's like.
So how far was you? Do you know how far you was from like?
I was
finishing?
I was a good 15 miles away. It's a 23, 24 mile swim. I probably got about 5-6 miles. Yeah. And I think in the water, a marathon is considered probably about 8 miles or something is a marathon compared to on land where it's 21.
Yeah.
Don't quote me, but I know it's like half of, because on land you can walk. In the sea, the minute you slow down, the current's taking you back to England.
Just want to ask you, if someone's listening and grieving or struggling right now, what message would you give to them? Like, what would you tell them?
Well, first of all, I'll let you know that, listen, you're not alone in it, and we can overcome this. But it's hard to do it on your own sometimes, and that's why the Joshua Levi Foundation is here. Like, contact us, like Joshua Levi Foundation. Google it, you know what I mean, and get in contact or reach out for help, because there's the Samaritans. There's ways you can get help, but don't be afraid to look for that help. It doesn't make you a weak person. It makes you stronger.
100%.
So, you know, and there is a way out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What do you want men to hear about vulnerability?
Yeah. So Levi, what do you want men to hear about vulnerability? What's your what words you want to leave to the men that really resonate with your story?
It's all right to be vulnerable, you know, and to be open, and not to mask everything up like you're all right. You know what I mean? Like, speak up, man. Like, even if it's to your brothers, your boys, like, be open. Or again, you know, you don't have to tell anybody when you're looking for a bit of help, when you're doing your little research online, but use that time, you know what I mean? To, you know, vulnerability doesn't make you weak. Again, like, it makes you stronger, bro. And, you know, sharing your emotions and feelings, you'd be surprised. I think we grew up in an era where you have to be strong and maybe a bad man. You have to be, and, you know, like I said, my saying is, man, a good man. Man, I'm a good man. You know, man, used to be like, man, a bad man.
Yeah, no, man,
why you want to be a bad man? I want to be a good man. So, just know.
We're redefining strength.
Yeah, redefining strength. And it's all right to be vulnerable, basically, is what I'm saying. Open up.
Bro.
No one's going to laugh at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no one's going to take the mick out of you. Because to be fair, when you say certain things, what I learned about being vulnerable is, man says the same thing right back, bro. I'm going through the same thing.
Yeah.
And you're like, two peas in the pod now. How can we get out of this together?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So someone will always relate. We're all going through stuff.
Yeah, we're all going through stuff day to day. And you speak to the man next to you, he's going through the same thing or something similar. And he give you advice, give each other advice, and you just feel lighter.
Yeah.
Hey,
Also.
I know there's another question. Let me quickly just ask one simple question. SAS or the channel, which was more tougher? Which one was the toughest?
That's a good question.
The SAS or the channel, or one of the swims? Because
I say SAS.
that was toughest.
SAS, SAS is relentless. Them guys are serious.
Yeah.
They're super soldiers. Captain America, all of that. Iron Man. They're the Avengers, basically. Them 3 man, 4 man. Yeah, SAS.
We got the SAS.
SAS.
So, what's next for Levi? Like, in regards to challenges for the foundation?
Well, we know Levi's going to have to keep Levi in. You know what I mean? You have to keep Levi in.
Yeah.
What's next for me? You know what? There's been a lot last year. You know what I mean? I got married. I had a son.
Congratulations.
I got a channel swim all in the same year.
Congratulations.
I've done my tower crane operator license.
You're winning right
So,
now.
yeah, at the moment, Levi was just taking a breath and giving my family some of my time. Give my son some of my time. You know what I mean? Be there for them, because that's important too.
You got your wife.
Yeah, as much as we want to do the challenges and that, like, family is very important. And that family doesn't have to be your direct blood, whoever it is you call family. make some time, man.
Yeah.
So would you say that your wife has been a big part of this whole process? Yeah.
Without her there, you know what I mean. She's backed me and been there and supported me the whole way.
Your wife, man.
And for the foundation, you know what? We're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep trying to raise funds, keep trying to help people. And again, like being on the cast, it's to raise awareness for it, because still a lot of people don't know we're there, and also to let people know, be vulnerable, because I can't help you if you don't contact us. I can't just fly into your yard, knock your door and say we're here from the foundation. I wish I could rip on my top like JLF on there. Man. But I need you to message us. We're here to help you. You know what I mean? But one thing I do want to do with the foundation is give back to the youngers coming through, like the people still in school, like the man them that, or the kids that are eating food by themselves at lunchtime, and you know, people are kind of taking a mick out of them, or they might be very shy and ain't got much friends, or by taking things like kids that not super naughty, because some kids, they're just mad, and you need some you know, to listen a little bit if you're gonna come out with us, you know what I mean? Doing like the snow dome, take them snowboarding, whether it's scuba diving, boating.
So it's like an inclusivity
for mental health and well-being, and it also shows that these different things that we want to take you on, you might not like the rock climbing, but you might like the scuba diving, or you might like the snowboard. So you can actually then create you know, a career path through that, generate money through that, and especially
intervention from early.
So it's getting you off your phones, it's helping your well-being, it's getting you into a hobby which kids don't have nowadays. Then it's also going to generate you, you know, like I said, we had this conversation before, boating, life skills, you know what I mean? So
that's good.
That's where I'd like to take the foundation, to be fair.
Cool, man. We're gonna put all like your handles in the description. We're gonna put your ats and all that. Yeah, man. This has been an excellent, bro. You are a soldier of life, bro. Like, I know you said you wanted to be in the military, but bro, I think like you're better than
this is the military, but
the military of life,
in the military, we're in the military.
Thank you for your story,
respect
your testimony.
Come on, bro.
Come on,
to shake
bro.
your hand while we're still live.
Yeah, come on, bro.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You've blessed us with your presence and your story. So that was the cast today. Big up Levi. He's been a great guest. We need you to like, share, subscribe.
Please, yes.
And I'm going to emphasize the share. I need some reposts, man. And we need comments. Like, interact with us. Let us know what you think, man. You get what I'm saying? And that's it. That's the cast.
Yeah, so I'm Cal.
And I'm Stam.
And I'm the voice of reason.
And that was the cast. Big up, man.
Brilliant.